Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can see by the title, this is going to be a declutter video. This is now literally like my fourth or fifth just in like the past month. As I've been saying in my previous declutters, I am being really strict on if I'm bringing new fragrances, I'm letting go of older ones because my collection was just getting way too out of hand. I had over 300 perfumes and it was really overwhelming to go into my collection every morning and try to pick out a fragrance when you have that many. So for the sake of downsizing and just feeling a little less overwhelmed, obviously I still have a lot, but I'm trying to keep it at 200, which I know sounds crazy. But a big reason obviously why I have so many is because I have a YouTube channel. I review fragrances, and don't get me wrong, I love every single one of my fragrances that I have and I wouldn't part with them now that I have them. But had I not had a YouTube channel, obviously I would not have 200 fragrances. Well, maybe I would. I don't think I would. Anyways, that's besides the point. So because I have bought a few new perfumes recently, that should be like my next video after this one, so stay tuned for that. So because I'm bringing new fragrances in, just for the sake of, again, not going up to 300 perfumes, I'm just making sure that I let go of the old as I'm bringing the new. It is getting really hard to do these declutters at this point because I've done so many and I'm getting down to the point where I love every single one of the perfumes that I have. But these ones were kind of easier to let go of because a lot of the perfumes that I brought in have similar scent profiles. Just know that there is nothing wrong with any of these fragrances going forward. Like, as far as me not liking them, I actually like these fragrances, but I don't love them. Like, I have fragrances that I much more prefer. At one point I did love them, but perfume taste changed, so I'm going to give them to somebody that is going to get use out of these. As per usual, these are all going to be going up on my Mercari. As soon as this video is going to be live, they will be on my Mercari. I will put that link in my description box. So with all that said, before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. So I'm going to start off with two perfumes that are no longer in my possession. I already sold them and they are in their new owner's possession. So I'm just going to tell you guys why I got rid of those. I did post both of these on my community tab as soon as I posted it on my Mercari. I wanted you guys to kind of be the first to have dibs, I guess, so that if you really wanted those scents, you could go on there instead of like some random person. So the first fragrance that I got rid of is Byredo's Mojave Ghost. In my community tab, I did get a few comments asking me why I was getting rid of this, and I did answer to you, and basically I'm going to give you the exact same answer. This fragrance, I liked it at first, but as I was wearing it more, I started noticing that I could barely smell it, at least for me. Like, I feel like I was, is it anosmic? I think that's what it is. Like, I was just getting nose blind to the scent. I could barely smell it on me, like maybe a tiny bit. And just the muskiness of it and the ambergris, there was something that didn't work well in my skin. And what was kind of the breaking point where I was like, yeah, okay, I'm getting rid of this, is every time I wore it. The first time I ever wore it, my husband was like, I don't like the smell. Like, you smell really musky. Like, it almost smells like dirt. And I was like, oh. And then I wore it again around him, hoping that, you know, maybe that day was just like a bad day. My skin was off. I don't know. I was hoping to get a better reaction. And he said the exact same thing. So I was like, okay, clearly this perfume does not work on me, because every time I wear it, he tells me that I smell like weird, musky, and like just this, I don't even know how he explained it. I think I commented in that video, but he literally just did not like it. And I was starting to kind of feel the same about it. Like, something about that ambergris. Ambergris is a type of note that smells different on everyone. And on me, this particular scent, I don't know if it's the combination of the notes with that ambergris, I don't know, but it was not working. And so I sold it. One of you guys already have this fragrance in your possession. So if you're watching this video, let me know how you're liking it. And then the second fragrance that I already sold is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. I really like this fragrance when I got it at first. I wore it a couple times, and then I found that every time I would wear it, there was like a sharpness in the nose that was really, it would stand out a lot on my skin, and it was that gardenia. At first, I felt like I didn't really smell the gardenia, and I thought that it was like a really sweet scent, and it reminded me a lot of Viva La Juicy. But after wearing it more, that gardenia and just the floralness really stood out on my skin in just like a sharp way that I did not enjoy. and I would find myself wanting to more so grab for Viva La Juicy than I was for that fragrance. So that is why I got rid of it. I much prefer the scent profile of Viva La Juicy. It does not feel sharp on me. It's a little sweeter, it's a little bit smoother, and just easier to wear in my opinion. And also Floral Gorgeous Gardenia barely lasted on me. It was just starting to not perform well on my skin, so I decided to let go of that one. And now let's get into the fragrances that I will be posting as soon as this video goes live. The first fragrance is Gucci Rush. So I have held onto this for as long as I could, and every single one of these declutters I wanted to get rid of it, but something in me just didn't want to part ways. There's something about this that, not even the fragrance itself, like the packaging, I don't know, there's something that makes me not want to let go of this. Ultimately, I decided this time around in this declutter, I was like, okay, it's time. I've debated it for too long, and I never wear this fragrance. Ever since I hauled it, I don't even think I've worn it once, which is a shame because this fragrance is super one of a kind. It's very unique. I don't know how to explain it. People say that this smells like plastic. I sort of get the vibe. In this perfume, you get peach, Californian gardenia, African freesia petals, coriander, rose, jasmine, patchouli, natural vanilla, and vetiver. To be honest, I get a lot of the green notes that are in here, like the vetiver, the patchouli. I get that coriander in a weird way. I get a little bit of the gardenia, which again, gardenia does not sit well on my skin. My skin just like rejects gardenia. I don't know. Like I'm smelling it now and it smells good. It smells really expensive, but there's some note that is a little too sharp on me, and I think one of you guys could give this the love that it deserves. It's definitely on the fresher side. It has a pretty strong patchouli green vibe to it. It doesn't smell dirty, but it's definitely there, and it's also like a little bit aromatic. So if you're not like the biggest sweet lover, then I think this might be the fragrance for you. It's definitely like a sexy scent. Like I would say like a date night vibes, like just darker vibes, basically like a nighttime occasion. But also because it is so unique and it stands alone and it's not really comparable to anything else, it could also be like a signature scent type of thing. The only fragrance that I could compare this to that I've had in the past that I think comes the closest to it is Rihanna's Rogue. That fragrance is almost like a spot on dupe to Gucci Rush. But yeah, parting ways finally with Gucci Rush. Okay, these two fragrances I'm getting rid of because they're basically the exact same fragrance, so I don't really know why I have both. And the reason why I'm getting rid of both is because this one that I'm getting rid of, I recently got gifted to me, like a bigger size of it, so I'm like, I'm not gonna keep both. Let me just at least get rid of this one. I'd rather just keep the bigger size that I got recently. But this is obviously everyone's favorite Pink Sugar. I still love Pink Sugar, like I really love it. It's one of the most inexpensive fragrances that you can buy, but it is literally one of the most complimented fragrances that you can buy still to this day. It's been out for years, like a decade at this point, I'm pretty sure, probably even more, and it's still so loved. Like if you're a sweet lover, this literally smells like straight up cotton candy. It is super sweet and sugary. It's like, you know, when they're making cotton candy, like you walk by one of those cotton candy little stands, that is what you smell like with this fragrance. But it also has like a pink vibe to it. Pink Sugar. It's literally like the perfect name for it. So I'm getting rid of this one. This is a 1.7 fluid ounce. As you can see, it's pretty full. It has like the tiniest little dent in it. So I'll make sure to price that one really nicely for you guys. And then this one is brand new. I got this off of Amazon. I don't know why I bought this, considering I had this. And this is literally supposed to be like a complete dupe of that, so I don't know what possessed me to buy it. This is called Delicious Cotton Candy by Gail Heyman, and this is literally delicious cotton candy. It is straight up also Pink Sugar, so it's very cotton candy-esque. It has like a lot of notes in it: cotton candy, sugar, vanilla, caramel, big strawberry, licorice, plum, musk. It has a ton, but ultimately you just get Pink Sugar. And I feel like most people know what Pink Sugar is. Basically like cotton candy in a perfume. Just will make you smell really sweet and girly. So that is this one. This is completely new, barely ever, honestly not even used, maybe like twice. Next up, I am getting rid of Girls Can Say Anything by Zadig and Voltaire. I like this fragrance for a good while, and I used it a couple times, but There is something in it lately that has been too sharp in it, and I think just based off the notes, I think it might be the fern note in it. So this has iris, peony, tonka bean, vanilla, musk, and amber, and I don't really have an issue with any of the other notes except for that fern. I don't really have many fragrances with that fern, so that kind of leads me to believe that that's what is kind of a little sharp in this fragrance for me, that is just not doing well on my skin. This is a sweet fragrance overall. Don't get me wrong, this smells so sexy. Like when I'm smelling it out the bottle, I'm like, I don't even want to get rid of it. It smells so good. It smells expensive. It smells rich. It smells sexy, seductive, and all that good stuff. A very feminine scent. But when I put it on my skin, then I feel like there's like that sharpness that comes out, and I don't know, I don't enjoy that. But this is a really pretty, inoffensive fragrance that has a lot of sweetness, but it's not the type of sweetness that will knock somebody out. It's definitely done in moderation, mixed in with some like freshness. It's really nice. I feel like I could kind of categorize this sort of in the same vibe as like Girl of Now, Black Opium. It's a little bit tamer than those perfumes, but odds are if you like any of those, you probably like the vibe of this one. And I feel like even if you might not like those because they might be a little too strong, this is like the tamer version of those that will kind of give you a similar vibe. And that's another reason why I'm getting rid of this. I have those perfumes in my collection and I love them, and I just don't ever reach for this one as much as I do those. Next up, I'm getting rid of a perfume I never thought I would get rid of. Like, I never thought I'd see this day. But I've just kind of gotten bored with this perfume, and I have so many others that could replace it and could give me a similar vibe in a better way. But I just remember how excited I was when I ordered this for the first time. I wore it for like a week and then I stopped wearing it, and ever since that I barely like ever wear it, and that is Girl of Now by Elise Saab. This one doesn't really have a dent in it, to be honest, like barely even a dent. It smells really good. Like, I'm smelling it now, I'm like, it smells super good. But I have perfumes like this in my collection. This perfume is a really nutty scent, and I think lately I've tried to attempt to wear it a couple times, and that's what really solidified the fact that I wanted to get rid of it, because lately the nuttiness has been really coming out a lot more on my skin, and I'm not a huge fan. I like nutty fragrances in moderation, like they have to be done in a really smooth, creamy way. Lately this has just stood out, and I remember that that is something that I didn't love about it even when I tried it in the beginning, but now I feel like I can't stand it even more. It has a ton of pistachio, almond milk, so there's like triple nuttiness in here. There's a lot of that in here. You get pear, orange blossom, magnolia, tonka bean, cashmere, and patchouli. Honestly, for as sweet as this perfume is, it doesn't even have that many sweet notes. I figured this would have vanilla in it because I definitely smell like that sweet creamy vanilla scent, but apparently it doesn't. Maybe it's the tonka bean and something to do with the almond and pistachio mixture, but yeah, this is really nice, really sexy, like that super sweet and sexy, delicious type of scent. It's kind of like Black Opium in a way, minus the coffee. I know that this is like a highly complimented fragrance, so whoever does get this, I think you'll be really happy with it. I'm just over it. Next up, I'm getting rid of this, which I pretty recently-ish bought this, but as much as I've worn it, I end up not liking it. Something in it does not work with me. It actually ends up giving me a headache, which is weird because this is a scent that I think I would really love. It's like my type of scent profile, but something in it does not work well with me, and that is the Finery Magnetic Candy scent. This is a Target exclusive brand. I did like an entire brand review of all the perfumes in this collection when they came out, so you can check that video out on my channel somewhere. But Magnetic Candy, it smells a lot like pink sugar. It has that cotton candy, burnt sugar, cotton candy scent to it. But I just don't know what ends up not working on my skin. This has notes of cotton candy, violet, and pomelo, which I feel like are pretty tame notes. Like, there's nothing in those notes that I would look at and be like, oh yeah, that's really sharp. I just don't understand, but something in it after having it on for a while kind of gives me a headache, and it makes me feel like I need to like scrub it off because it's like almost too sweet. I'm just not vibing with this. It is compared to a lot of really high-end perfumes like Sundays by Byredo, and also Oriana by Perfumes de Marly, which I will say I smelled Oriana and I don't think that they are similar in my opinion. Oriana to me smelled so much like Love Don't Be Shy, and Love Don't Be Shy and this don't smell like at all. Love Don't Be Shy is way better, and it's like creamier and it just, there's not really a sharpness to it. So I don't know, maybe there's just something in this that I'm smelling that other people are not. So if this works for you, this could probably be a really nice scent if you're into sweeter scents, like sugary type of scents. But yeah, something does not work with this fragrance on my scent. Alright, and then the last perfume I'm getting rid of is this DKNY scent. I have no idea what this is called. It's some type of like collaboration, super limited edition. I literally cannot find any information of this online. Like, you cannot find it on Fragrantica, nothing. I think it was like very limited edition when it came out, and now I don't think you can find it literally anywhere. It is super tall. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna ship this out. When I do, I'm gonna have to find a really long package to ship this out, but it looks like this. This is literally the tallest bottle of perfume that I have in my entire collection. I hauled this not too long ago, and while I do like this scent, I think it smells really nice. If you're into fresher, sort of citrusy, aromatic scents, which I'm really into, and it also has a little bit like berry sweetness, I really like this fragrance. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But there's just perfumes in my collection that I love a lot more. Like, I have a really specific taste when it comes to these more aromatic type of citrusy scents, and I have my picks for those where I wear all the time, and I just don't think I would reach for this as much as I reach for that. So I just want to give this a better home that could get better use out of it, because it is truly like a really nice scent. Like, the more I'm smelling it, I'm starting to kind of change my mind on if I want to really get rid of this. But no, I think ultimately I'm going to, because as much as I like it, I know that I'm just not going to be getting use out of it, because I just have other perfumes that I would go to. But it's so good. Citrusy, kind of berry-ish, like this sweetness to it, aromatic, a little bit woody. It's like the perfect blend of a really nice and easy to wear type of scent. This is like a perfect summer scent. So for the summertime coming up, I recommend this. So that is it for today's declutter. I think this might be my last one for a while. Now that I've brought a lot of new perfumes into my collection, I'm also calming down on buying fragrances. So as long as I'm not buying, then I'm also not decluttering. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're interested in any of these scents. If you are, check out my Mercari. Like I said, link will be the first link in my description box. That is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!